Camera.
You're good.
Yeah, we're testing it out.
You can use your words. Nice.
All right, so people are just going to kind of be rolling in while we're going, but I'm going to start. My name is John Kennedy. I'm the technology coordinator for the Office of Student Media. Just kind of run through a quick presentation and then just take some Q&A from you guys. Just ask me questions as we're going or afterwards. Take your time, whatever. Every question's great. So just a quick overview of what is student media. So students conceive, create, edit, design, produce the content that appears in the Daily Beacon, the Phoenix Literary Magazine, and their corresponding websites. We've got a couple Phoenix Literary Magazines here, if you guys want to see one, if you haven't looked at one yet. We serve the University of Tennessee with news and information. We train students for careers in media, sales, advertising, graphic, design, photography, management, and journalism. It's a real-life learning lab that we have, so it doesn't matter what major the students are, they can come to the Office of Student Media and get experience in any and all of these fields and more. My whole thing is just like, whatever you want to do, come to the Office of Student Media and we'll figure out how to do it. We act as a public forum for audiences both internal and external to the university campus. Up until a few years ago, the Daily Beacon newspaper was only viewed by the campus, but I started here a year and a half ago and I did a real big push to digital. So we're constantly updating our website. They're updating 5 to 10 stories every day on our website, 7 days a week. Students are always pushing out that content. We reinforce classroom education by providing a learning lab. I'll just repeat that multiple times through this presentation. We are a real life learning lab. The students manage themselves, they hire each other, they're paid. I mean, it's a job, it's an office. It's essentially a media company. Student Media is a media company. The Daily Beacon is the newspaper arm, the Phoenix is the literary and arts arm, and then we also have a commercial side. We connect students with alumni and professionals in the field. I'll touch on that shortly and here in a couple slides. And we contribute to the legacy of the university by documenting the history of faculty, staff, students, and events on the UT campus. We have an office, or like a closet above our office in the communications building. I mean, it's a big closet, but we have the Daily Beacons and the yearbooks that go back 100 years, which is really, really cool to see. A few weeks ago, we had a guy from Nashville call and he wanted box scores for like a hockey game, for like the club hockey team. I couldn't find, that information for him from 1992, but as I was flipping through that issue, there was an article that said something like, Home Alone released this weekend, will it be the next big hit? And so seeing stuff like that was really cool. And a lot of times when I go up into those archives, I just get lost. I'll be looking for something specific and I'll just start flipping through. And it's just really cool things that you see. Here's a quick shot of just a couple students and a couple things that we've worked on. The Phoenix Magazine, they table twice a year, once a semester, and that's where they basically, put themselves out there, getting submissions, handing out issues, answering questions that students have. Here's a couple of our video and news producer team. They are interviewing our chancellor. This was at the Al Roker event that happened. This is one of the staff meetings. There's a bunch of students that work in student media. This is specifically a Daily Beacon meeting, and there's 10 to 15 full-time students that work at the Daily Beacon, and then there's about another 50 to 60 just kind of contributors that come in and work whenever they can. Maybe they're just going to do a quick story, or they're going to shoot a quick photo event. And here's a shot of last year's editorial team. So those are like the leaders of the Beacon staff. News editor, assistant news, sports, art and culture, video, and also our managing editor and our editor-in-chief. So again, Phoenix Magazine, Beacon newspaper, those are the two primary components of student media. That's kind of where we get everyone started. And those are their websites. We'll have a snap code at the end that you can scan to zip over to the website. I'll touch on the Phoenix real quick, watch a video, and then we'll move over to the Beacon. But specifically, the Phoenix, published twice each year, served the campus and the community since 1959, and solicits student submissions of fiction, poetry, and art. And that's not necessarily entirely true. It's not just student submissions, it's also faculty and staff. Anyone on campus can submit to the Phoenix, but you have to be tied to the university. So it's that art, it's, the art side of it, whether it's written or visual art. So let's watch a quick video about the Phoenix. listen carefully because it's coming on my laptop, but it's pretty loud. So.
The Phoenix is basically the student-run literary arts magazine here at UT, and we publish student fiction, creative nonfiction, poetry, and visual art. What's in it now is definitely more creative work. We have creative nonfiction, we have fiction pieces, which are just stories, and we have a lot of poetry and a lot more visual art now. We definitely publish a lot more visual art than we used to.
Photography, paintings, prints, drawings, anything, even digital media, anything that is visual, you can submit. We even had this year quite a few sculptures that were submitted, pictures of sculptures, which was really fun.
We mostly look for content that is just things we haven't seen before. I think for fiction, we really want original stories, things that we couldn't pick up in Barnes and Noble or something like that, something different and something that really has its own voice. For poetry, we look for a lot of emotion and things like that, and then for visual art, it's a lot about originality and creativity and something that evokes kind of a response in us.
We have lots of students on this campus who do some really creative things, and we have an opportunity to showcase all that talent. So that's what we look for in terms of submissions and in terms of what people can provide to our publication.
The Phoenix publishes once a semester. At the end of the semester, we take submissions for the first part of the semester for the first month or so, and then we spend the rest of the semester going through submissions, picking them, talking to the contributors, seeing what they can change about their work if we want a few things changed. And then we have normally a 2 to 3 week design period where our designer goes in and does the layout, and then we send it to print.
The Phoenix offers opportunities for students to get involved in all kinds of activities, and one of the things that we really enjoy doing both in the spring and fall semesters is having a release or a launch party of our magazine. At the event, you'll see students up reading some of their selections, the things that have been published in that issue. Lots of their friends come, their parents come, they have an opportunity to see their students succeed. And so it's really kind of a celebration of what the students have accomplished throughout the semester.
There's really no reason not to submit to the Phoenix. It's pretty anonymous, so the editor sends me the poems with no names attached, so nobody's judging you. And if you do get in, it's just a chance to get published with no hassle. You get a free copy of the magazine, really as many as you want, to show to your friends and family, and to have proof forever that you were published.
So, that's the Phoenix, and there's a little content